your source to all custom racewear apparel needs and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens, UMP Modified and Silver Crown driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Atlanta Motor Speedway, located about 20 miles south of downtown Atlanta in Hampton, Georgia, has come a very long way from the very first race. Held in 1960 and won by NASCAR legend Fireball Roberts, who also took the pole at 133 miles per hour. Spectators from that day, who watched from one small grandstand or on blankets spread out on an adjacent dirt bank, wouldn't begin to recognize the facility today, even down to the name. Dubbed Atlanta International Raceway when it opened, the track struggled financially through the 60s and 70s before finding a degree of stability in the 1980s. Real change came following Bruton Smith's purchase of the facility in 1990, with the transformation of Atlanta International Speedway occurring in 1997. With extensive reconfiguration that switched front and back straightaways and added a double dogleg in the new front straightaway. In the 7 intervening years, new grandstands sprouted almost every year, and a 9-story tower, Terra Place, that houses the track offices and a number of luxury condominiums. Atlanta has been a staple on the NASCAR calendar for decades. And tonight, it's the IROC Challenge Series season finale, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're here on the new scan here tonight, so super speedway style racing. Let's look at the race details for this evening. 120 laps the race distance. Stage break coming at lap 30 at the completion of it, for that matter. 78-degree ambient temperature, 56% humidity, clear skies, almost no breeze. Track temp 106 degrees. Fuel percentage 65%, maximum capacity with 2 sets of tires available over the wall. Again, the final race of the regular season here. Don't forget, we do have the All-Star race coming up to really end cap the season. But tonight, one more race of the regular season, though Aaron Smith locking up the championship last week. Warm-up underway, qualifying already in the books. Mike Cook fastest thus far. Best time is a 30:55. Aaron Smith at a 30:78. Second quick. Again, these times don't mean a whole lot considering that there's going to be a significant amount of draft to be used tonight in this race. Tough part about this place is it's pretty narrow, but you're still going to be packed up in the draft like you would normally see at places like Daytona or Talladega. Yeah, we'll look at the early results from practice. These are likely all draft-induced times. Brian McCann was fastest with a 30.048. That is really moving it around this place. Mike Cook was second fast, then Aaron Smith, Cook quick, and Brandon Mefford. Somewhat short field here tonight, 14 cars, but again, they'll be packed up most of the night. Real quick, jumping in the session in the number 2. Not his favorite style of racing here, super speedway and drafting. Taking the shortcut down pit road there at speed. That's always fun. With the championship already locked up, this actually could be a pretty fun race for these guys. Not a whole lot to worry about in the way of points. And this will be the final broadcast of the week here at HBR TV, with the holiday coming up here, Thanksgiving on Thursday. Wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving before we forget to say so. But with that, we're going to step aside here. Earlier this week, last Wednesday actually, we lost a broadcasting icon in the sport, Ken Squire, losing his life after a long-term medical battle. Ken Squire influenced so many broadcasters here, not just on the sim, but in real life as well. He will be greatly missed. So this one's for Ken.
Ken Squire always described racing as common people doing uncommon deeds.
But it was Squire's dulcet tones and indelible descriptions that ensured NASCAR's best moments were remembered with reverence.
We're here at Brooklyn, Michigan this afternoon. I'm Ken Squire.
When future historians write about the wonders of the world, save at least one chapter for this.
From his family's humble beginnings at Radio Free Vermont nearly a century ago, Squire began calling sprint car and midget races in the back of a lumber truck as a teenager. By 25, he had helped build the famous Thunder Road International Speed Bowl that remains his native state's racing showplace, with its famous Milk Bowl event featured every fall.
Squire's eyes turned southward, and he headed to Daytona Beach to become one of Bill France's missionaries, spreading the gospel of stock car racing, starting as a track announcer at Daytona International Speedway. But Squire's calling was broadcasting. After co-founding the Motor Racing Network in 1970, Squire spearheaded NASCAR's first nationally televised race from Greenville, South Carolina, in 1971 on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
There is Victory Lane. Ken Squire is down there. I can't see whether he has Bobby Isaac with him. Okay, Ken, go ahead.
Victory Lane, and it is a harmonious group around Bobby Isaac.
8 years later on CBS, he handled play-by-play for the first live flag-to-flag Daytona 500, which included the first ever in-car camera that Squire helped champion.
Into turn 3 and 4 at over 195 miles an hour, you're riding with Benny Parsons.
But what many remember is the greatest finish in NASCAR history. It was punctuated by Squire's call. And there's a fight.
And there's a fight between Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison. The tempers overflowing.
His voice was a soundtrack to many momentous events in NASCAR. Whether Petty versus Pearson,
As they come to the stripe, the winner is car number 21.
or the first victory by Jeff Gordon in the 1994 Coca-Cola 600.
And it is Jeff Gordon victorious on this Memorial Weekend at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And in 1998, interviewing Dale Earnhardt Sr. in his greatest moment.
2 decades he's waited for this moment, and it's here. How about that ride? How about it?
Squire coined the Great American Race
The Great American Race, the Daytona 500.
in the Alabama game.
The Alabama game.
But it was his contextualization that made the sport so fun and relatable to every fan.
And look at that Oklahoma land rush back there. Slingshot. 2 of the greatest fiddling here, fidgeting with first place.
When he returned in 2015 at Darlington Raceway with my dad and myself, Squire still had it.
At the cradle of American superspeedway racing, Darlington, South Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a race.
It's that salesmanship that put Squire in the Hall of Fame twice, including a media award annually given in his and Barney Hall's honor.
And now they've added a storyteller. And believe me, I can tell some stories.
The voice of NASCAR may be gone, but his words will resonate forever.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, let's take a look at our starting grid for the final race of the IROC Challenge Series season. On the pole position with a lap time of 31.104 seconds, it's Aaron Smith. Outside front row, missed it by 6/1000ths, the 12 of Tim Schofield. Row number 2 is the 2 of Neil Quick. Starting third, and then the fourth position, well, it's the 4 of Jaden Hopp. Starting fifth, the 00 of Mike Cook. Brian McCann rolls from the 6th position in his number 3. Brandon Mefford, the number 83 Charity Motorsports entry, will start 7th, with Rick Kelly, the number 31, starting 8th. Chris Wally, the 51, starting 9th. The 5 of Trevor Quick will start 10th. Doug Wysocki. Charity Motorsports number 34 is starting 11th. Josh Funkhauser, the 81, he'll start 12th. 13 starters, Matt Kopp. Cook Quick will start 14th and round out the field in his number 23 machine. It's your starting grid here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Rolling here in just a moment. One lap, and then we'll be green flag racing. Field working its way through the corners here, about to hit the backstretch, I believe. Unless, no, this is turn 4. We're going to be green flag racing right away here as the iRacing pace car pulls down pit road. The field 2x2, green flag in the air, and we're racing from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Lap 1 in the books. Aaron Smith with the race lead over Neil Quick and Timmy Schofield side by side for the second position. Jaden Hopp's going to give Quick a bit of a push to the outside. Early stages here, again, 120 laps the race distance here tonight. These guys are really going to need to spend some time trying to get acclimated to this super speedway pack style racing. Had a couple of them here this season, this being the final one of them. Pretty sure you've got everybody kind of figured out as far as who can you draft with, who can you not. Honestly, it's probably a good thing we've got a lighter field here tonight at 14 cars. And this place is pretty narrow in the corners. They did shorten it up a bit when they reconfigured everything. Smith still with the lead, but not by much. Neil Quick still on his outside, nose out in front, might have led that lap. Jaden Hopp in the second row, up top in the number 4, the white and purple entry. Tim Schofield in the 12, still on the bottom. On board with Neil Quick, battling with 12-time winner this season, Aaron Smith. Really is incredible how restricted these engines are. This Gen 4 Cup car, accustomed to running near 10,000 RPM. Here in the Super Speedway package, 6,800 to 7,100 RPM. Certainly not getting all the ponies you can. Meanwhile, Aaron Smith lost the draft to any helpers in behind. Tim Schofield a few car lengths back, but also losing connection quite a bit. That is absolutely going to hurt the momentum of the 70. Not hurting him as bad as we thought, though. Neil Quick and Jaden Hopp still topside. They're working together, but no help for Aaron Smith, yet he still manages to stay a nose out in front here into the dogleg again. Neil Quick's going to lead it at the stripe. I have to start wondering here if that outside lane is going to come into play here late in this race as the place that you want to be on that final lap. As long as you got a little bit of a push behind, you can beat the leader back to the stripe on the outside. We've seen Neil Quick do it a couple of times in these first handful of laps. Board now with Aaron Smith, still trying to hold his own against Neil Quick and Jaden Hopp. Quick's gotten by. Hopp alongside. Quick stays up top of the racetrack. Don't know if he ended up getting clear or not, but neither one way or another, Quick decides to stay on the high side. Jaden Hopp losing connection just briefly there in that second spot behind Neil Quick, second in the top row. Seen that happen throughout the course of the season. Hasn't really pulled him completely out of a race at this point. Hopefully that remains the case as Neil Quick drops down in front of Aaron Smith and takes over the race lead, finally gets clear, doesn't stay low very long, jumps back up topside in front of the 4 of Hopp. Aaron Smith slides up in front of the 4. Jaden Hopp switches lanes himself. Now the 70 is going to go to the outside here. Quick pushes him up the racetrack, trying to edge him towards that safer barrier. Thought he was going to open the door for Jaden Hopp for just a moment. Hopp thought about going 3 wide, thought better of it. Again, only 11 laps in here. We've got plenty of racing to go before you start making moves like that. Quick still staying up the racetrack, not allowing Aaron to come back down. And if anything, I think Neil might be trying to put a little side draft on the 70. Brian McCann coming up into the mix as well as he tucks in behind Aaron Smith. Yeah, every corner you see Neil sliding up the racetrack, trying to dump some of that dirty air on the spoiler of Aaron Smith, trying to break that momentum just a bit. Doesn't seem to be working too well. Aaron's still right there, and Brian McCann hanging tight to the back bumper. That's going to help push Aaron Smith further forward, maintain that momentum. And once again, Quick out of the corner, slides up the racetrack just within inches of that driver door of Aaron Smith. Oh, I don't know how long you're going to get away with this if you're Neil Quick. He's been doing it, I don't know, last handful of laps at least, every corner. Sliding up to the door of Aaron Smith, trying to push him up the racetrack, side draft just a bit, but I don't know how many times you can go to the well and still come back with clean water. These two are going to make contact at some point. It's just a matter of the numbers. Probability is there. They're going to make some contact. We don't want that to happen, but it makes you nervous. Top 6, 2x2, back to row 3, and it looks like row 4 now is also going to be side by side, so the top 8 all battling for position. Get excited every time I see Neil go up the racetrack and almost door the 70, but it's every corner. This the battle for the top spot here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. It continues. Quick with it, but just by a very, very narrow margin. It's showing zeros as the deficit. Now it jumps to about 100th and then back to zeros. What a race it would be if they can run like this all night long. Do you think it'll happen? I don't think so. I know these guys have been running this race car all season long. They've got the experience, and they're showing it big time over in the No Bull Racing Series. A lot of these guys jump over there and, well, they pick on those guys. They're pretty quick. They have the leg up on the competition, coming in with some experience with this car, given that this is their home league. This is the car that they've been running. Brandon Mefford taking the win just yesterday in the No Bull Racing Series at Richmond. Still watching this fight for the top spot. The thing in this situation with these top two guys side by side every single lap, and really they're just seesawing back and forth, not even a tenth, we're talking 100th at a time, switching the lead between the two of them. It's also slowing down. There's the contact that we were worried about. They both get away with it cleanly. Going back to, effectively, they're acting like a roadblock for the two drivers in behind. That's Jaden Hopp and Brian McCann. You could try to push it 3 wide, but again, as we said numerous times already in the broadcast, this place is narrow and has gotten narrower with the reconfiguration. A little bit more banking, a little bit tighter. You see that red line there at the bottom. That's the point of no return. Cannot pass below that yellow line, in this case, red line. Quickly approaching the end of the stage here. Again, that's going to be the completion of lap 30. Catching up on the stream chat here. You got Lindsay says, love this. Ken was wonderful, referencing our tribute to Ken Squire. I think that was put on by NBC Sports. We're going to thank them for letting us use that. They didn't really, but we used it anyway. Jerry Krause, of course, with his weekly boogity, 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 and then this time they get away with it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Lindsay, once again now, these drivers are so great. They have great sportsmanship and friendship. Yeah, until they get mad at each other. Lindsay, I don't know if you hear the Discord chat sometimes, but it can get a little hairy. But they all come back and race the next week, so I guess it's not too bad. Aaron Smith, meanwhile, is retaking the top spot. Slots down in front of Neil Quick. Back to start finish. 23 laps up on the board. Jerry Krause says, Lindsay, shut off your Wi-Fi so Jay quits blinking. I hope you mean just her phone, because I wouldn't shut the whole Wi-Fi off. Hopefully Jaden's not on Wi-Fi, but gotta run wired. Things have singled back out here at the front of the field. Aaron Smith, Neil Quick, Brian McCann, your top three. And it's Jaden Hopp and Cook Quick rounding out the top five. Cook's up 9 positions. Strong run for the 23 thus far. Didn't take long. Neil Quick jumps to the outside. Brian McCann goes with him. He's going to be a dancing partner for the 2 down the backstretch into turn 3. Oh, Neil Quick slides up the track. Pancakes the right side of the race car into safer barrier all by his lonesome. It's super speedway racing. But we're still in Atlanta. So handling is going to be paramount as these tires begin to wear. Neil Quick just showed that. Slipped just a bit up the racetrack, got into the outside wall. Not a lot. And in fact, I don't really see any damage to the right side of his car. If anything, maybe peeled some stickers off, but I think he should be good to go. And he's tucked back in now behind the 3 of Brian McCann. Maybe he'll help Brian give his push to the front. Not a whole lot of positional changes happening right now. And you really need to be brazen here to try to make a move. Not a whole lot of room for error. Curious to see how the fuel and tire strategy plays into the outcome of this race as well. Of course, you've got the added complication of making sure that when you make your pit stop, you have a drafting partner to come with you. Jaden Hopp now tucks in behind Aaron Smith. Those two have worked well together all season long. I will say that Jay's probably tired of finishing second, though. Tonight would be the night to do it. Neil Quick trying to side draft Jaden Hopp. We saw that with Aaron Smith as well. I don't know how effective it really was. It seemed like he was trying to do the same there to the 4 just to break that momentum. Maybe he was going to try and take that low lane away. Again, I'm just venturing a guess here. I don't know. I can't read Neil Quick's mind. But it would make sense. Meanwhile, Brandon Mefford has jumped up into the 5th position. He's up a couple of spots, started P7 here tonight.
Caution.
And the caution comes out as we get to the stripe.
Get a deep breath.
Cook Quick in trouble, was running as high as 5th place just a few moments ago. Now he's last in P14. Doug Wysocki possibly involved in this as well. Oh, possibly. No, he definitely is. Keep the shiny side up next time. They don't go very fast on their roof. Well, let's get a look, see what happened. This will effectively be our stage break. Oh, Chris Wally gets a big piece of this as well. I'm going to back this up a little further. Then slow things down. So Doug Wysocki in the 34. He's looking low on Cook Quick. Cook decides to throw the late block. Now, I say it's a late block. It kind of looks like a block, but it also could be Cook trying to come down and avoid the 12 to his outside. But it eventually ends up collecting the 34, and then Chris Wally comes in, collects Wysocki as well. Doug going for a ride on his lid. across the start-finish line. Watch it from the in-car of Doug Wysocki as he gets into Cook quick. Full speed. Remember how he said they go faster when they're not on their roof? They also stop a lot easier when they're not on their roof. So it looks like everybody made a pit stop here. Aaron Smith, Neil Quick, Brandon Mefford, fuel only. Brian McCann appears to have taken tires on his stop. So did Tim Schofield. He's going to restart, looks like 7th. And Cook Quick back in action here in the 11th spot. Drivers were given one fast repair for this race. Typical of the super speedway style events. Not always going to be the case where you get one each week, but a place like this, one big wreck effectively can take out literally the entire field, and then, well, we've got nothing to broadcast. Knock on wood, that hasn't happened at any point in any of our broadcasts. We've wrecked a significant majority of the field, but there's always been a few drivers left over. But that is your reason behind the fast repair, just in case something absolutely crazy happens. So as you see, pace car lights are out, so we're going to go back green flag racing this time by. It'll be lap 33. I believe Aaron Smith credited with the stage win. Again, points don't matter to him. He's already locked up the title.
Ready, green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Aaron Smith in the gas. Gets a good restart on McCann and Quick. Again, with the reduced power in these cars, you hear how slowly they come up to RPM, up to speed. As Brian McCann taking a look to the inside into turn number 3. I want to say that that was a brazen move by Brian McCann, but it almost looks like Aaron Smith let out of the throttle and let him go by. That lead car is going to use a whole lot more fuel than anybody else. So maybe Aaron wants to tuck in behind some traffic here and save his stuff, save some fuel for the end, or at least until his next pit stop. Neil Quick slipping up the racetrack once again. Brian McCann, we talked about his pit stop. He did take tires versus the rest of the field, and I don't know, it does seem to be paying off for him, at least for the time being. He's only got one set left for the rest of the race, so I don't know if that's a great strategy play. But we did see drivers like Neil Quick just slip up the racetrack, put it the right sides in the wall as tires started to warm up and wear. It still seems like Neil's having a tough time keeping it pinned in the lane that he wants to be in. That could be a combination of the older tires and a little aero push from the 3 of McCann as Brandon Mefford tries to jump to the inside and looking for the race lead with Cook Quick on the back bumper. Remember, Cook was involved in that last caution. Cook did not waste any time jumping back up into the top 3. He was 5th as high as earlier prior to his incident. Now he sits P3 up 11 spots. Now Cook Quick goes to the inside of Brandon Mefford. Mefford slots back, but Cook Quick goes around Mefford and Brian McCann out of turn number 4. Move the 23 to the point. New leader, lap 38. Starting to sound like some guys are lifting out of the throttle into the corner. Let's see if that is the case. I don't know if that's fuel strategy or tires being worn out, but let's listen for Neil Quick. We're right on board. Yeah, little lift on entry for the 2. I'll have to go back later and listen after he changes tires to see if he's able to go wide open. I think they are, at least with new tires. Still a 14-car race, except for Doug Wysocki. Doug's still in it, but he's 3 laps down. Cook still with the race lead and starting to stretch it out. Biggest lead we've seen anyone get this afternoon. Almost a half second back to the 3 of Brian McCann. 41 laps in. We're going to jump out and get an HBR TV side-by-side break. Stay with us. You won't miss a moment of the action. We'll be right back.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, 48 laps in. Cook Quick still with the race lead. He's got almost a full second advantage over second place, which now belongs to Timmy Schofield, but not in hold. He has not cleared Brian McCann. Back to the stripe. McCann with a run. Sticks to the right rear of Tim Schofield. On board with Schofield, still battling for that second spot over Brian McCann. McCann still to the outside. And Cook Quick disappears for a moment. What happened here to the 23? Did he run out of fuel?
Caution,
And he stops
caution.
on the track. The caution comes out.
Kind of
Cook
talk me
Quick
through
just
what's
goes
going
to
on,
the
because
pit. Don't know what happened specifically there with the 23. He was leading by a wide margin. I wonder if he ran out of fuel. I can't imagine that's the case. Well, caution on the speedway here. Let's see what happened here to the 23. So he's down below that red line. We'll back this up again here. We'll watch. Let's go on board. Yeah, I don't know. He just lifts out of the throttle, goes below the red line and stops. At first, I was wondering if maybe he had a slowdown. Doesn't appear to be the case. So, Tim Schofield, your new race leader. Pit stop's underway. Going to be fuel only for the 12 of Tim Schofield. Interestingly enough, Chris Wally stayed out of the racetrack. Wally's last pit stop coming at lap 31. We're running about lap 52 right now. Might just be out here for some extra points. He may be in a battle still with someone very close in those standings, so every point matters for some of these drivers. Again, the championship already locked up by Aaron Smith. And there you see it. Wally's going to come down pit road here. Stayed out to get that lap led. So Wally comes to a stop at pit stall number 11. It's going to be fuel only for the 51. Again, not an unwise decision here, even just going to the back. It's only a 14-car field presently, so a track where you're drafting, got to work your way through the field. It's not the easiest thing to do, but taking the opportunity to get a lap led, get your pit service taken care of, and come back out. Worst case, you're going to be the 14th car in line. That's not horrible. Again, plenty of laps left in this race. Wally's got opportunity here. We'll see if it pays off. So field formed up 2 by 2 on the backstretch. Again, pace car lights off, so we're going to go green flag racing the next time by. Second caution of the night. First caution coming just before the stage break. Incident with Doug Wysocki and Cook Quick and Chris Wally. Kind of a free caution considering the caution was going to come out in the next lap. Instead, it was for an incident. Space car pulls down pit road. Let's try it again. Barney with the green in hand.
Green flag.
We're back racing from Atlanta. McCann out to about a quarter of a second over Aaron Smith. Aaron with a big run out of turn number 2, though he's closing that gap considerably. Picks up a tenth and a half just from turn 2 to the backstretch. Now he's alongside into turn number 3. Boy, this is like deja vu. It's like what Aaron Smith did early on when McCann powered by. McCann might be trying to save some fuel now, and Aaron Smith's ready to go charge and lead some laps. Jaden Hopp blinking out again for just a moment. He's back in. Almost contact with Brian McCann and Brandon Mefford. That was very close between the two of them. I have to wonder if that had something to do with the disappearing number 4. Meanwhile, Aaron Smith starting to check out again here. 0.4 of a second on Tim Schofield and Jaden Hopp. Meanwhile, Chris Wally back in the pits. And he may have got an unsafe exit or speeding on exit penalty. He is in the box here now, a full 25 seconds plus. We'll check that in a moment. Back out front, second place, Schofield hanging on to it. Jaden Hopp running third. Inside in turn number 3. Schofield up the racetrack. Quick to the bottom. Quick finally took a set of tires here, lap 51. He's going to have some grip. Let's ride on board with the 2. Little bit of a lift, but nowhere near as pronounced as it was prior to putting tires on. The sizable lead that Aaron Smith had just a couple of laps ago has been cut in half and then some. It's a 10th and a half now to Neil Quick in the second spot. Interestingly enough, Aaron Smith also took tires at lap 51. Brian McCann back up into the third spot in front of Brandon Mefford. Schofield has slipped back to P5. Jaden Hopp running 6th. Funkhauser 7th. Matt Kopp 8th. 9th, Trevor Quick. Mike Cook is 10th. Aaron Smith at the stripe, halfway here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Back in second place, Neil Quick. Neil might just be sitting there sucking up some draft. Closes the gap down into turn number 1. He goes to the high side. Quick is right there on the back bumper of Aaron Smith into turns 3 and 4, a half car length between the two of them. Got Mef Diddy in the stream chat, says small field. Yes, it's the last race of the season. You always tend to lose a few guys here as the season progresses on. Aaron Smith continuing to lead over Neil Quick. Not a whole lot in the way of a battle going on here. Car length, maybe a car length and a half between the two, but it's a pretty significant distance from Neil Quick back to third and Brian McCann. McCann's all by himself. Timmy Schofield in fourth, battling with Josh Funkhauser for position. We got Mef Diddy again in the chat, says, I would have raced this, but it's one of those, this is one of the worst tracks on iRacing now with the new layout. I mean, honestly, I kind of like it. It's, in the real world, I don't really care for it so much, but on iRacing, it's fun to run on. And honestly, the races that I've called have all been incredible. Brandon Mefford back in the 11th position. I don't know if he just chose to drop back, stay out of the minutia. Did not see anything significant happening to the 83, but falling to the back of the pack here with 11 cars on the lead lap, it's not the end of the world. Mefford's got plenty of time to make his way back towards the front. Again, we're just a few laps past halfway. Top two drivers have in the rest of the field. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're checking out. Following up Mef Diddy is Chris Mefford. Come on, Chris, you could have been here, man. I know you don't like it, but you'd be up there battling. Lap times of the top two, Aaron Smith and Neil Quick, a 31:14 for Smith, 31:14 for Neil Quick. I'd say they're running pretty good laps. Third place, Brian McCann, a 31:86, Funkhauser, a 31:89, Trevor Quick, a 31:88. These guys are running about 7/10 a second a lap slower than the top two. I don't know if these guys are just formed up as a tandem. I know they're not pushing like we were used to seeing a, quote, tandem, as it was back in the day for the few years that those guys were doing that on the super speedways. But he is just close enough that it seems to be helping both of their lap times. The nice thing about this, if this continues on towards the end of the race, you could have two guys battling it out, and it really just comes down to who has the better run. It's not about the draft. It's not about the guys helping you behind you. Quick might be able to back off a bit and build a run. Make the pass. Chris Mefford in the chat asking about tires. The top three have fresh tires. It's kind of a split during the last caution, lap 51. Everybody came down, took tires or fuel or a combination. But as it stands now, Smith, Quick, and Funkhauser all on 4 fresh tires. Brian McCann back in 4th. He was fuel only. Trevor Quick, P5. He also took 5 tires. What am I talking about? And then Brandon Mefford in P7. He took 4 tires as well. Continue to watch this fight. Chris Wally losing a lap. Wally now down 4 laps. So through that exchange, Neil Quick has taken over the top spot. Chris Wally's going to kind of interlope himself in between the two in the 70. Further back in the pack, Brian McCann still running 4th. Funkhauser 3rd. McCann trying to battle back. I don't know how aggressive he's being about it, but the 5, and Trevor Quick makes a move to the inside with help from Brandon Mefford. There's a lot of lifting going on now that these tires are starting to wear. You can hear the field collectively out of the throttle as soon as they get into the corner, just trying to get that thing to bite down into the corner. Still not sure the situation with Cook Quick. He went from the race lead to coming out of turn 4 and just parking it in the dog leg and leaving. Not sure the scenario there for the 23, but definitely out of this one. Meanwhile, Trevor Quick jumping up in that 4 spot. McCann back to P5, battling with Brandon Mefford. Mefford on the bottom, number 83, slides up a little bit into that middle groove. The door closes slightly with Funkhauser in the 81. "76 laps in here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're going to take another side-by-side break as Trevor Quick has a moment, slides up the racetrack, causes Brandon Mefford to slide up into Brian McCann. Jaden Hopp dives to the middle of the racetrack, trying to take advantage and take evasive action. Looks like everybody got through it cleanly, but the biggest loser there is going to be the 3 of Brian McCann as he slips back to the 9th spot. Trevor Quick, you saw it just a moment ago, dipped the left sides below that red line, and it really upset the race car. Almost lost it, slid up the banking slightly, got into a couple of guys, and the chain reaction happened, but everybody kept it going. All right, so this time for sure, HBR TV side by side. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Neil Quick still out in front of this field. Aaron Smith tucked in behind, a half car length off the back bumper. These guys are now 12 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Doing a great job trying to get some distance between themselves and everybody else. I don't know if that's the right strategy play or not, but two fast guys at the front of the field. Again, Aaron Smith, the strategist, also very fast just about everywhere we go. I can't doubt him. He's got 12 wins on the season. A guy that's got that much hardware, I guess you kind of got to trust his judgment. Back in the third spot with the rest of the bunch. Josh Funkhauser, the number 81, battling with Brandon Mefford. Mefford to the outside. Mefford with a big run out of turn number 2. Takes the spot, gets clear. Jaden Hopp's going to follow him, or is he? They get back into the corner. Little bit of contact, it looked like, with Funkhauser and Hopp. Hopp slides up the track. He's going to try and tuck in behind Funkhauser here. He does. Matt Kopp there as well on the low side. Then Mike Cook on the outside. Chris Wally still laps down here. He's going to try and go to the outside and get these guys to go around. Wally up the racetrack. Now Mefford in command of this pack. Now, with all that said, a 65% fuel load, these drivers definitely have at least one more stop they need to be concerned with. At the stripe, it's going to be 31 laps remaining, I think, if they go one more lap and then pit. They're within their window. They might be within their window now, so let's keep a close eye and see who decides to peel off. These two out front, lightning pace. Last lap still significantly faster than the rest of the field. We're talking a full half second a lap quicker. Quick and Aaron Smith, 31.86 to a 31.85. The rest of the field, low 32s. Look at that. Huge advantage for the top two. Back to the line, 30 laps to go. Neil Quick still out in front. Aaron Smith just a couple of feet off the back bumper into turns 1 and 2. Inches back just a bit. Now it's a half car length on exit. Aaron Smith looking to the bottom. Trying to make a move here for the race lead. It's going to be tough. Again, no help. It's just these two out front. Might have even been a planned switch there. Or it could have been Neil Quick just yielding the position so that they can get lined back up and continue to extend their advantage over the rest of the field. They've got just about a half lap on everybody else at this point. Gotta wonder if they continue this up, can they make their pit stops under the green flag? They might be able to get in and out without losing any more track position comparative to the rest of the field. Again, they're gonna have to stop as well. They're in a really good position here, though. Back to the pack, Brandon Mefford leading this charge. It's Josh Funkhauser, Jaden Hopp. That's your balance of the top 5. question is, who has tires left? I don't know if anybody does to this point. Everyone's made at least 2 stops, but we've definitely seen some guys make pit stops and not take their tires. So we're going to see some people with that ability to go 2, maybe even 4 tires when they make their final pit stop. We saw how impressive the fresh tires made the drivers look. But with all that said, you got Aaron Smith and Neil Quick out front just working together to put distance between themselves and the rest of the field. I just don't know if tires are going to be enough. Continue to watch here. It's going to be 25 laps to go the next time by. And Neil Quick's in pit lane. Interesting call here. Neil coming down pit road here by himself. I would have bet money he was going to wait and come down with Aaron Smith, so at least he had some drafting partner to do it. But this does leave Aaron Smith on the racetrack without drafting help as well. As the field rockets by start-finish line. Neil into the pit box, and right side tires going on the 2. We'll see if he loops the crew around to the left side. Going to take 4 or just right sides. It's a 4-tire change for Neil Quick. Drops the jack, down he goes. Not a great exit from the pit stall, but 24 laps to go. We'll see what Neil Quick can do with fresh rubber. Laps to go. We'll see if Aaron's going to come down pit road here. He's out of the throttle a little bit here, but still back in the gas. Stays on the racetrack. Jerry Krause in the chat. If I was running this race, I'd take 2 tires on the first 2 stops and 4 on the last. I don't know how these cars handle with just left sides. I haven't tried that. I mean, that would be where I would start in practice to see how crazily they handle with just lefts. I don't know how much of an advantage it would be, but it's a good idea in theory. The other side of the coin, though, if you have the opportunity to take any tires at all during a caution flag, I think you want to take the 4 when you have it under yellow. If all your pit stops happen under green, I can see the rationale behind the 2 and 2 and then 4. So Neil Quick finished up his pit stop, but he still comes out a lap down. But now we're going to see how much of a benefit those tires are to the 2. He's not in the draft right now. Chris Mefford in the stream chat again makes a very valid point. That second pack needs to tuck up together and make some gains. Talk about getting organized in these super speedways a lot and how important that is to get nice and tight to the car in front of you, get a nice long line of cars together, all doing the same thing, split that air resistance across the whole pack, and you can start to reel in those guys that got out in front. They were organized. It was only the 2 of them. Aaron Smith on pit road. Brandon Mefford down pit road as well. Mefford took tires his last stop. We'll see if he's got an extra set. Aaron Smith in his pit stall. Right sides. He did still have an extra set over the wall. Brandon Mefford. Nice and easy into the pit stall. Aaron Smith taking 4 tires and fuel. He's back out. 20 laps to go. 4 tires for Brandon Mefford. Matt Kopp down pit lane as well for his final stop of the day. Right side's up for the 22 of Matt Kopp. Aaron Smith gets out in front of Neil Quick through that cycle. Quick is right there, close enough to sniff the draft. Quick with a run, goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Hot tires for the 2. Side-by-side battle down the back straightaway. This could be the battle for the lead once everybody cycles through their pits. Last lap for Neil Quick was a 31:15. We'll see what Aaron Smith ends up with at the stripe. Aaron Smith a 31:43 to Neil Quick's 30:78. Just for Chris Mefford, we got the lap time comparison up on the board here, and the two of Neil Quick and Aaron Smith have jumped up to third and fourth. It's going to go even higher here as Rick Kelly is in pit lane. Jaden Hopp still needing to make a pit stop as well. Laps to go from Atlanta Motor Speedway, and I got to tell you, the tension is building here at Atlanta. I know this race is run pretty clean from green flag to now. We've had a couple of cautions, but it's been a great race as far as that's concerned. But I got a feeling we're not done seeing tire smoke. 15 laps to go. These two sides are right next to each other here in the standings, at least nose to tail, that is. And with no help, you gotta wonder, is the bumper gonna come into play? I think that's your only option. We'll see. Jaden Hopp down pit lane. Next time by, Quick and Aaron Smith will be the top two drivers on the racetrack. At the line, Neil Quick back to the race lead. Jaden Hopp just leaving pit road. Fuel only for the four. Caution on the speedway. Somebody in trouble. Don't know who. Looks like Timmy Schofield may have had a problem. Indeed, he did. Tim having a whale of a time trying to get up the banking. No, don't go too far down. So late in the race, the caution comes out and changes everything. Let's get a look at it. Oh, off the nose of Brandon Mefford. Back this up a little further. Go on board here with the roof cam on Brandon Mefford in real time. All right, so yes, Brandon drove through him there, but I think Tim lifted a little more than Brandon expected him to. Again, late stages of this race, things are winding down. And now the caution comes out. Brandon Mefford in the pits. I don't know if he's topping off fuel or if he, I don't know, maybe Brandon still has an extra set of tires. Let's see. No, just using the fast repair, it looks like. Chris Mefford in the chat. Looks like Tim checked up a bit going in. That's how I see it as well. Rick Kelly just put 4 tires on. And I think Rick's the last car in the lead lap. He may have a shot at this. On lap 109, it's going to be a shootout, but he's going to have the freshest tires of all. Field working the caution for the third time today. We're going to step aside, get a short break out of the way. We'll be back for the restart after this.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the caution number 3 about to be ending here. Going to be 10 laps to go when they take the green flag. Neil Quick is going to lead them down. Aaron Smith to the outside, row 2. Brian McCann with Matt Kopp, Mike Cook and Josh Funkhauser, and then Trevor Quick. And Rick Kelly there in the 31 with fresh tires. It's about to get interesting.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. Top 3 get a great jump. Aaron Smith slips up the racetrack. He's going to have to tuck in behind Brian McCann. Real quick, leads him down the back straightaway here. Brian McCann looked like he had a run, but stays tucked in behind the 2. At the line, 9 laps to go. McCann taking a look to the inside, almost getting into the left rear. Neil Quick had to fine-tooth comb that one. He gets to the inside and 3 wide off turn number 2 for the race lead at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Brian McCann with some help from Mike Cook down the backstretch into 3. Gonna go 3 wide again. Looks like it, maybe. Now McCann clear of everybody. Smith still tucked in behind Neil Quick. Back to the stripe. The 3 with the race lead, but a big run coming to the outside. Still 3 wide down the back straightaway in the second row. Now it's a battle for the race lead once again. Mike Cook on the bottom with Jaden Hopp pushing. Brian McCann up in the middle. Neil Quick topside. 3 wide in the second row as well. Jaden Hopp, Aaron Smith, Neil Quick, top 2 side by side. There's no way they make it back. Aggression level set to kill. Six laps to go here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Brian McCann still out in front. Not quite clear of Mike Cook. I don't know if he really worried about that too much. He stays up in front of the 70 of Aaron Smith. I think McCann likes that top lane, at least for the time being. Talked about it early in the broadcast, how that outside line was able to carry the momentum for the driver trying to defend. In many cases was able to beat the challenging driver back to the stripe, but it's not to be here. McCann loses the lead here. Mike Cook takes it over. 5 laps to go, and Jaden Hopp with a big run to the inside down in turn number 1. They bang doors into the corner. Everybody keeps it going straight. Jaden Hopp to the point. Aaron Smith pushing the 4 down the back straightaway. Lindsay's got to be losing her mind. Jaden Hopp, your new race leader. leader for the first time today, coming to 4 laps to go. Mike Cook to the outside, taking a look. Ryan McCann coming up in behind here, trying to push the 00. Not close enough to help. A little bit of contact with Rick Kelly and Neil Quick. Remember, Kelly's got 4 fresh tires as well. He's still got a shot at this too. Matt Kopp inside on Brian McCann. Laps to go. We're right on board with Jaden Hopp. He's trying to work both lanes. Block the bottom for Aaron Smith. Block the top for Mike Cook. Jaden made his pit stop at lap 106. He took 4 tires. 2 laps to go from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Neil Quick up the racetrack, into the fence, just scrapes the right sides again. He does it a second time out of the corner. Keeps it straight for the time being. Neil Quick was a challenger to win this race, and now he's the last car on the lead lap in 10th. Drivers out of turn number 4. Jaden Hopp with the race lead. Looking at the white flag. Final lap from Atlanta. Working on a turn number 2, side by side for the second spot. Aaron Smith, a little bit of contact with Mike Cook. Jaden Hopp drops it down to the low side to block the run from the 70. Could Jaden Hopp take this checkered flag and get his first win of the season? Off turn number 4, checkered flag in the air. The 4 of Jaden Hopp wins the season finale at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Aaron Smith finishes second. Mike Cook brings home the 3rd spot. Well, it took him 118 laps, but man, it got good there at the end. I'll take it. What a race. What a season. And we still got the All-Star race next week. I think it's next week. I was gonna say, there's no way he's done yet. Waited all season for this. All right, I guess he's done. All right, we're gonna step aside, get our break out of the way. We'll be back with our top 3 after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
I met Marco Scars.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the last race of the regular season of the overall season for the IROC Challenge Series. Jaden Hopp finally parking the number 4 in victory lane. We'll get a word with our race winner here, driver of the number 4. Jaden Hopp, it's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Jaden, congratulations. Finally got that monkey off your back. Took home the checkered flag. It wasn't until late that you took the race lead, but you led the laps that counted, man. Walk us through that final restart with 10 to go.
I'd say I would have only been in that position because of the timing of the caution. I got really lucky there. When I went in to go to the pit stop, I locked my right front tire up, so I meant to pit the lap before, but that caution really ended up saving me because my tires were the freshest out of all of them.
Well, late race caution got you back in it. A little luck never hurts, but you've been good all season long. A ton of second place finishes tonight. Not to be the case. You win this race. Aaron Smith instead finishes in the second place. How do you feel, man?
I'd say I feel pretty good to end the season off with a win. I'm not sure who won the bracket challenge because I'm not sure how the tiebreaker goes, but I think he wins it because he was better like every single other statistic than I was.
Well, we'll get that worked out. We'll post the results of that as soon as IROC puts it to us. We'll make sure we follow up with that. But either way, a strong season, Jaden. Congratulations on the race win here tonight. Are we going to see you in the All-Star race next week?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Have they announced to you guys where it's going to be?
It should be at Talladega.
Okay, so as long as you know. I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag if you guys didn't know yet. But so Talladega, obviously super speedway. We're going to have more racing similar to this. The difference being Talladega is obviously a lot bigger, a lot wider, more room. You're going to see a whole lot more 3-wide racing, maybe even 4-wide racing. How do you feel about winning that All-Star race next week with no pressure?
I'd say I feel pretty decent after this one. The format, I don't think you've seen it since you were telling me. Yeah, the format was pretty interesting, so I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Certainly looking forward to it, Jay. Again, congratulations. Who do you want to shout out before we let you go?
To shout out everyone for showing up each week, putting on the races, and you for broadcasting them each week. And I'd like to shout out my family for watching too. Love them.
All right, Jay. Nice job, man. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Jaden Hopp, your race winner here at Atlanta. Next, we're going to talk to the 70 of Aaron Smith. One of the few times this season we've talked to him when he wasn't the race winner, but I'm sure he's okay with this one. Aaron, it's Steve in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I've got you.
Aaron, congratulations, man. Second place finish to the 4 of Jaden Hopp. I suppose if you have to finish second, finishing second to the 4, I guess that's a pill that you can swallow. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been on my bumper the whole season. In the races where he hasn't been, just straight up faster. He's been right there the whole time, so if anyone's going to finish ahead of me, I feel like it'd be him.
We watched a couple of different things exchange between yourself and Brian McCann, and it really happened twice, but in opposite ways. At one moment, Brian McCann shot by you like he was fired out of a cannon, and then later on a later restart, it was kind of the same thing, except you were doing it back to the 3. Was it a matter of fresh tires, or was it just gentlemanly, all right, go ahead and take it, I'm going to save some fuel? What was that all about?
Yeah, I think it was all in the tires. I figured pitting for tires in lap 30 would be way too early, because I've spent the whole season waiting until halfway to take that first set, and I waited until the lap 50 caution. That kind of forced my hand, because I didn't think we had enough cars left to wad them up again. But Neil and I got out to a really big advantage there. I thought we had it made. I figured second would be my worst case scenario over there for the finish, but then we had that caution and had to fight tooth and nail for it, but fortunately it worked out.
Solid run, second place finish. Jaden isn't 100% sure where you guys end up with the bracket challenge and the tie break. I don't know if anyone's let you know what the situation is. I don't know either, but if it ends up being post-race, have you heard anything?
I heard Chris say something about it being on the lap sled, and I think I might have gotten that. Like, I tried to lead as many as possible tonight, racing with Neil up there at the front, but I don't know yet.
Well, it still remains to be seen. We'll make sure we post that post-race. Again, next week we go to Talladega Super Speedway. More drafting. First question, are you going to be there next week?
Oh, yeah, of course, I'll be there. I got to get every win I can out of this season. I feel like I'll have a pretty good shot next week, if this week was any indication, so hopefully I'll be able to back up on that next week.
You got enough. You're getting an EOL to start.
That's okay. It's Talladega. Give me 2 laps.
Right. Congratulations again, Hen. Who do you want to thank for this season and helping you get things done here tonight at Atlanta?
Well, as always, I'd like to thank all the folks at the IROC Challenge for having me this season. I know I said that I wasn't going to run next season, but something's brought me back into it. I might run part-time, might run a few races here and there, but they're not done with me yet. So I'll be back, and I'd like to thank the folks at Spartan Transportation, all the other sponsors on the car, R&R Racewear. Can't really see that many. Got the little box with my car on it in the corner there, but I'd like to thank all the sponsors involved for putting this show on and getting us out here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next for this series.
Going to be a fun one for sure. Really looking forward to those late models. They are a blast no matter where you're at. But again, Aaron, thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week, and good luck on the races you run next season.
All right, thank you.
Aaron Smith, your runner-up here at Atlanta. And next, we're going to talk to the driver of the 00. Put on a late charge here. We thought he had an opportunity to win this race. Just came up a couple of spots short. Mike Cook at Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got me?
Hey, Steve. How are you?
We're doing good, Mike. Congratulations. A top 3 finish here at Atlanta. You look to be a man determined here on that final restart with 10 laps to go. Shot out of a cannon. Had an opportunity. Led some laps late. Just didn't come home with that top spot finishing position. Walk us through those final 10 laps.
Yeah, I thought the race was over when Aaron and Neil got out there, but we got a chance there at the end, and I don't know if McCann was on old tires or something. I just couldn't get that push on the outside lane to make the pass around Jaden there at the end.
Well, nonetheless, you started tonight in 5th, so it was a strong qualifying run, and then an even stronger race, a 3rd-place finish. Going to carry some of that momentum into Talladega next week?
Oh, I'm going to go out there and have some fun, man.
That's what it's all about. Those all-star races, they're going to be a blast. We kind of thought that's how tonight was going to roll with the championship already being locked up, but I think the reins are going to be off everybody next week at Talladega. Do you feel like you got a shot at that one too?
Hey, man, anyone's got a shot at those plate races. You just got to be there at the end.
Certainly do there. Again, congratulations, a 3rd-place finish here tonight. Who do you want to thank before we let you get going?
Oh, I just want to thank my mother for birthing me. She's a great woman.
Can't go wrong with thanking the mom, because without Ma, you wouldn't be here.
Exactly, man.
All right,
I appreciate you guys.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week, bud.
See you, man. Bye.
Mike Cook, your 3rd-place finisher here at Atlanta, thanking the mom. Can't go wrong. All right, well, with that said, we'll get to our official race results. Of course, the top 3, Jaden Hopp, Aaron Smith, and Mike Cook. 4th-place finisher was Brian McCann. Matt Kopp was 5th. Rick Kelly finished in the 6th position. Trevor Quick was 7th. Josh Funkhauser finished in the 8th spot. Brandon Mefford, 9th. Neil Quick was 10th after a very strong run tonight. Really thought we'd see him battling for that race win here late. Just wasn't meant to be. Tim Schofield was 11th. Doug Wysocki, 12th. Chris Wally credited with 13th, 8 laps down. Cook Quick, don't know the scenario there with the 23. He was strong, leading laps, and then just pulled off the racetrack and called it a night. He finishes 14th, 71 laps down. With that said, thank you guys all for tuning in tonight. We're going to have one more race left next week. That's the All-Star race. No more points to add up. It's going to be a fun one. Tune in for that. Talladega Super Speedway next week. Certainly a special format. We'll dig into that when the race gets going. But same time, same channel here at HBR TV 1. On YouTube. Also check out the website, hbrtv1.com. If you haven't already done so, help us out. Hit the like button here on the stream. That helps quite a bit. Pushes the video to a wider audience, so some new eyeballs get to see the league, get to see both channels, whether it's here at HBR TV or IROC TV. That's a plus across the board. Like us, go ahead and like IROC. Whatever you can do, we certainly do appreciate it. With that said, we're going to play a tribute to Ken Squire here one more time because, well, you can't really pay too much of a tribute to Ken Squire. The man's timeless, and he's definitely going to be missed. So thanks for watching, folks. Stick around for the Ken Squire video here, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Ken Squire always described racing as common people doing uncommon deeds.
But it was Squire's dulcet tones and indelible descriptions that ensured NASCAR's best moments were remembered with reverence.
We're here at Brooklyn, Michigan this afternoon. I'm Ken Squire. When future historians write about the wonders of the world, save at least one chapter for this.
From his family's humble beginnings at Radio Free Vermont nearly a century ago, Squire began calling sprint car and midget races in the back of a lumber truck as a teenager. By 25, he had helped build the famous Thunder Road International Speed Bowl that remains his native state's racing showplace, with its famous Milk Bowl event featured every fall.
Squire's eyes turned southward, and he headed to Daytona Beach to become one of Bill France's missionaries, spreading the gospel of stock car racing, starting as a track announcer at Daytona International Speedway. But Squire's calling was broadcasting. After co-founding the Motor Racing Network in 1970, Squire spearheaded NASCAR's first nationally televised race from Greenville, South Carolina in 1971 on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
There is Victory Lane. Ken Squire is down there. I can't see whether he has Bobby Isaac with him. Okay, Ken, go ahead.
Victory Lane, and it is a harmonious group around Bobby Isaac.
8 years later on CBS, he handled play-by-play for the first live flag-to-flag Daytona 500, which included the first ever in-car camera that Squire helped champion.
Into turn 3 and 4 at over 195 miles an hour. You're riding with Benny Parsons.
But what many remember is the greatest finish in NASCAR history. It was punctuated by Squire's call. And there's a fight.
And there's a fight between Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison. The tempers overflowing.
His voice was a soundtrack to many momentous events in NASCAR, whether Petty versus Pearson,
As they come to the stripe, the winner is car number 21.
or the first victory by Jeff Gordon in the 1994 Coca-Cola 600.
And it is Jeff Gordon victorious on this Memorial Weekend at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And in 1998, interviewing Dale Earnhardt Sr. in his greatest moment.
2 decades he's waited for this moment, and it's here. How about that ride? How about it?
Squire coined the Great American Race.
The Great American Race, the Daytona 500.
In the Alabama game.
The Alabama game.
But it was his contextualization that made the sport so fun and relatable to every fan.
And look at that Oklahoma land rush back there. Slingshot. 2 of the greatest fiddling here, fidgeting with first place.
When he returned in 2015 at Darlington Raceway with my dad and myself, Squire still had it.
At the cradle of American superspeedway racing, Darlington, South Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, you have a race.
It's that salesmanship that put Squire in the Hall of Fame twice, including a media award annually given in his and Barney Hall's honor.
And now they've added a storyteller. And believe me, I can tell some stories.
The voice of NASCAR may be gone, but his words will resonate forever.